Welcome back. It's the dawn of a new lunar era for NASA. The four-person Artemis II crew arrived this afternoon at Florida's Kennedy Space Center after spending 2 weeks quarantining in Houston. Their liftoff window is set for Wednesday. The 10-day mission will take them around the moon and back. This will be the first trip to lunar space since 1972. CBS News space contributor Christian Davenport joins me now and walk us through what the final preparations are looking like.
Yeah, so as you mentioned, the crew arrived at the Kennedy Space Center today. They flew in from Houston from the Johnson Space Center, and they're going to spend the next several days, making sure that the health of the rocket is okay. They'll be going through all of the last preparations. This is really a historic mission. I mean, as you mentioned, flying around the moon, first woman to fly around the moon, first person of color, first non-U.S. citizen to fly around the moon, a Canadian. So they want to make sure everything's okay and are going to be really taking their time. And they stressed this today during a press conference that if anything's off with the rocket, if the weather's not right, they're going to pause, and they don't have to go on April 1st. They've got several windows this first week, and they're going to make sure that they fly only when they believe it's safe and that they are fully ready to do so.
And so what will be accomplished over this 10-day mission once it does take off?
Right, so this is a test flight, and what they want to do is fly the Orion crew capsule around the moon. It'll be the first time Orion has flown with people, so they want to test out all the systems, the life support, and this is all paving the way for the first landing on the moon by people since 1972. So before you do that, you've got to make sure the capsule works, that it re-enters the atmosphere and the heat shield protects them, that the parachutes work. They're going to go around the far side of the moon, and they are going to see parts of the moon potentially that nobody has seen with their own eyes before. And this crew may actually go further out into space than any humans have ever traveled before. So it's really a historic mission.
Yeah, hard to believe it's been half a century, but more broadly speaking, how does this impact NASA's efforts to get a human back on the moon?
Well, this is a test flight. And if this goes well, they're going to take all that data, they're going to go back, and they're going to try a mission next year, which, again, you'll have a crew of astronauts in the Orion spacecraft. And that mission, which will be called Artemis II, will actually dock with the lunar lander in Earth orbit as just sort of a practice. And they want to make sure that they'll be able to do that before actually docking with a lunar lander by the moon and then landing on the surface. That would come in 2028, again, if all goes according to plan. And the dynamic that we see now is NASA is in a space race with China. NASA is saying they want to get there before China, and so they are trying to move safely, but they also want to move expeditiously. They want to move with a sense of urgency to try to get this accomplished.
Yeah, I was going to say, how critical is this mission?
Well, it's huge in that regard. I mean, as you mentioned, first mission of having humans going to the moon in more than 50 years, setting up for the first human landing. And this is not like the Apollo era moon landings, where we sent crews of astronauts, they came home, and that was it. What NASA wants to do under the Artemis program is to go to the moon and to stay, have a sustainable presence, have a base camp on the moon, on the south pole of the moon. And that's really important because we know that there's there's water in the form of ice in these permanently shadowed craters. Water is, of course, vital to sustain human life, but its component parts, hydrogen and oxygen, that's rocket fuel. That's how you can get further out into the solar system, out even potentially to Mars. So all of this is part of that bigger plan to build that moon base on Mars.
Really fascinating discussion. I know you will be watching April 1st. We thank you so much, Christian, for being with us.
Of course.
And that does it for us here on The Takeout. Of course, we do want to give you this reminder first to tune into CBS News 24/7 on Wednesday for all-day coverage of the Artemis II launch. Special coverage begins at 4 p.m. Eastern with our Major Garrett anchoring.